Before we build our NFT together and I show you how to get your music out there and so that you can start getting paid directly for the art itself and show you all the cool things you can do with this, let's just start at the beginning. Let's back up a couple steps and start with blockchain. What is blockchain? Look at the technology behind this, right? I know it can be a little bit annoying to learn something new, but once we start to push past the barriers of starting to learn what this technology is about, you're going to realize that it's not so complicated. So let's start with blockchain technology. Maybe you've heard this term, the blockchain, and you've heard about Bitcoin because NFTs is directly related to blockchain. But we're musicians, we're artists, we're DJs, right? We're not financial investors necessarily. Maybe you are, maybe you're both, that's awesome. But the point is that you don't have to be a financial advisor or a data scientist to understand what the basic principles of blockchain. So basically the key takeaways that we're going to be looking at now is that blockchain is a specific type of database, okay? So it differs from a typical database in the way it stores its information. There's different types of information that you can store on it, and that decentralized blockchains are immutable. Those are the three most important things. I'm taking it from this Investopedia here, okay? So those are the three most important things. If you don't know what any of that means yet, don't worry at all. We're gonna break this down for you so it's simple. So look, essentially, blockchain may sound like this big complicated thing, and it can be, but the reality is that it's actually quite simple. All blockchain really is, it's a database, right? It's a place where we store data. You can think of it as blocks of information that are chained together, okay? And so the database is a collection of information that is stored electronically on a computer system. Now, if we want to understand how blockchain works, we can think about Bitcoin, right? Maybe you've heard of Bitcoin. I'm pretty sure you've probably heard of Bitcoin by now. Maybe you have some Bitcoin. In any case, when we think about the blockchain with Bitcoin, what we're thinking about is that for every transaction that's made on Bitcoin, the data is stored on the blockchain. So every time you do a transaction with Bitcoin, this information gets stored by a collection of computers on the blockchain. And in Bitcoin's case, unlike most databases, each computer or group of computers is operated by a unique individual or group of individuals. Now, this is the real power where this can be helpful for musicians and for artists and for artists in general, because it brings up the concept of decentralization. Okay, so what is decentralization and why is this so important for musicians and for artists? Well, think about it. So imagine if you have this one big company, this corporate giant, and it has like 1 million computers, right? And all these computers are being stored in one place, and this one company, this one warehouse has full access and full control. Then they have an authoritative presence in which what they can do is decide, hey, whatever they want to do with these computers or change, it's up to them because they hold the majority control. What's amazing about Bitcoin and as well as Ethereum, which NFTs are largely stored on, is that these computers are actually not held in one space, but in different geographic locations all over the world, okay? And because of this, we get this decentralized blockchain. And the real power here is that because it's a decentralized blockchain, no one authority, whether it's a government, whether it's a big commercial brand or whatever it can be, can come in and decide to change things around. They just can't do it. So the key here to think about is decentralized blockchain over privatized blockchain, because you can still have a blockchain that's privatized and the network is owned by one single entity, and that does exist. But what we want to focus on here, for the purpose of real freedom as an artist, so your music no longer has to be channeled constantly through this middleman corporation, but that you can actually bring it out to the forefront with NFTs. And this is really, really special. This is the power of decentralization. This is the missing link that the digital world needs. It's freedom on the internet for artists, the philosophy behind it, if it's executed properly. And hopefully through this course, you're going to get some nice key takeaways here and food for thought, things that you can think about. Another very powerful thing about blockchain technology is the transparency, right? So because it's decentralized, all these transactions are going to happen in this transparent way, meaning that anyone can see the transaction. So think about that for royalties. Let's say all of your music is being put up on this decentralized blockchain. The second you put it up on that blockchain, the information is stored there and the royalties are transparent and nobody can change it. This can make it much easier for music agencies, for licensing, for you to have your music protected protected at all costs and that nobody can change that. For you to be able to collect your royalties without all these walls and not knowing if people are keeping track properly, if you're getting paid accordingly. So the future power and potential here is really, really important for artists. I can't stress this enough. This can be game changing, guys. And okay, so without like getting super deep into it, if you want to learn more about it, I'm going to provide some links where you can do the reading on your own. But if you're a musician and you just want to know the basics here, and you just want to know the basics, the basic takeaway here is that blockchain is a specific type of database, okay? And it doesn't store things in your traditional fashion that a database would. And what it does is it uses blocks that are chained together. It makes sense, right, guys? And the final key takeaway I want you to think about is decentralized blockchains. The idea that blockchain powered by decentralization can be very, very powerful for the future musicians, because all of a sudden, all the work that you do, everything that you put up is going to go directly to you. You're going to get paid directly. There's no other entity that can come in and change the numbers, tell you that you're wrong, tell the world that it's wrong. It doesn't matter, because whatever you put up, it's incorruptible. It's your work, and no government or authority can take it down. This is the real power, an important thing to consider, in my opinion, these days in terms of technology and the paradigm shift that we're going to be seeing, in music history. So we're making music history together. I'm really happy that you're here. You're learning about these things. Let's keep moving forward. The next chapter, we're going to take a look at what cryptocurrency is. Okay, guys, see you there. Bye.